Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your January through June 2023 reading. We haven't talked for a while. We haven't done this for a while. So this has been really fun for me to be able to go through each of the signs and get these 6-month predictions out for you. I hope you're enjoying them. I have the sun coming through. I opened up the window and the sun is like shining off of the snow. So it might be a little bit bright coming this direction in the video if that happens, but I had to have the sun coming through for you guys like I just did. It was just a necessity. So here we are. We're going to do things a little bit different this year. First, we're going to pull a Power of Surrender card. Oh, if I have that open, it's going to glare. We'll see how it goes. If I have to shut the blinds, I will, but we're going to pick a Power of Surrender card to see what it is that you guys are surrendering for 2023. And then we will do an overlying theme. I have all of the major arcanas and the 4 aces in this deck. We'll get an overlying theme for each month, January to June. And then we will go in and clarify with tarot for each month. If you want to get your own predictions, I think I have like 2 spots left in January, and then I'm going to close them. I'll open everything back up again, probably the beginning of, I think I might do in April. So I have enough time to get them done so I can get the second half of the year done. But that's the next time I'll be offering the 6-month predictions is in April. Fingers crossed that works, but that's the plan for now. We all know with Sagittarius energy, we know that things don't always go the way that we want it to be planned. I'm a Sagittarius moon, by the way. So, yeah, I get it. Surrender to success. Yes. You guys. Okay, you are ready to experience abundance. Let me read that again. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. Hell yeah. Finally, a good reading. I mean, there have been other good readings, but I feel really, really good about your 6 months, your first 6 months of this year. I'm recognizing with all of the general readings and even the personal readings, 6-month readings I've been doing, it's not all rainbows and butterflies the first 2 months of the year. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think we're all just going to have to find out together, honestly. But there's something that's happening in the first 2 months of the year that's kind of got all of us a little bit antsy. And I think a lot of it has to do in January, it has to do with Mercury and Mars being retrograde still. And, in March, we're going to see Pluto move into Aquarius, and we're going to see Saturn move into Pisces. So we're getting this whole new shift of energy that's coming. And I think that we all can kind of feel it. And some people aren't really acting right as they're feeling it. So, but this is so right for you guys. This is huge because I know for myself that there have been many, many times that I just I have to remind myself, I am here for abundance. I am here to create abundance in my life. There is no lack. The lack mentality has to go away. That's one of the things that I've been working on myself. My partner's a Sagittarius as well. So we have a lot of Sagittarius energy in this household. And, there's just so much that we have, that we've been reminding ourselves of because we know what we can do. Like the Sagittariuses that I know, they're all magicians and they can all create, but there's that programming that we have inside that can often tell us that we're not good enough to create these things that we want. So January. Judgment is for January. And then we have the Emperor for February. March. Ooh, nice. March, we have the Moon. And the Fool is in April. May, is the Ace of Swords. Nice. And June is the Hermit. Okay. Okay, this should be interesting. We'll see how this is going to go. This should be very interesting. So what it looks like is Sagittarians are coming into the new year, or into the Gregorian New Year. We all know that the new year actually starts in March when we have the new moon in Aries. Might even be in April with the new moon in Aries, but Judgment. So there's something, you guys are coming into the new year, and there's definitely something you have to pay attention to in your life. Like you can no longer ignore what's happening, because even though these universal energies are being very supportive for you, they're also being like, you have to make this decision. You know that it's been hanging on for too long. It's been going on for way too long. And it's time for you to just buck up, and like, it has to happen. And then in February, it's almost as if you're in charge of something. We don't want to control the things in our lives, but the Emperor is very much in charge of the things that he's doing. And I'm like, if we look at the Emperor and we see, like, he is very regal. He has all of his royal robes, and he has his scepter, and he's kind of a dictator at times. But the Emperor represents abundance, at the same time as, being the leader and being in charge. So then we have the Moon and the Fool for March and April. So I kind of feel like there's whatever it is that's cooking up at the beginning of the first couple of months. There's almost this leap of faith that you're going to have to take blindly. I feel like with the moon energy here, there's sort of this leap of faith that you're going to have to take blindly. April or May looks like a conversation, and it looks like by June, you're sort of ready to retreat a little bit. You might be dealing with a Virgo energy. You could also be dealing with an Aries, a Cancer, or just an Aries or a Cancer, or even an air sign with these swords. So let's just get started. Let's just see what's going on and clarify. So for January, we have Judgment. Remember to keep this surrender to success in your mind through this reading, because everything that's going to be happening is setting you up for success, even the uncomfortable phases. Not everything is going to be fun and like la-di-da, rainbows and butterflies, like I said before. But there will be parts of it that are much easier than other parts, especially the more you surrender and release to the powers that be. Because we got to remember that we don't know everything. I know sometimes that, like, I'm a Virgo Sagittarius combo. I think that I know everything so much. My partner, Virgo Sagittarius combo, he's a Sagittarius Sun, Virgo moon. We both have had to look at each other very, often and be like, we don't know everything. We got to pull ourselves back and, listen to what the other person is saying, because they might have some ideas, right? So with Judgment, there is this call. And a lot of it is to manifest things into your life. We have the 9 of Cups, we have the 5 of Wands, and we have the 8 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is the wish card, and the 5 of Wands is the argument, and the 8 of Cups is the walking away. So the best way that I can explain this is, as you begin to call in your desires, as you begin to say, these are the things that I want to have happening in my life, there's going to be some conflict going on in, around there. There are people out there, you guys, that don't want us to thrive, that don't want us to grow and to thrive. And that's none of our business. What is our business is not being around those people that don't want us to thrive. So sometimes there can be friction, but, in order to get this 9 of Cups, sometimes we have to do the walking away. So the 8 of Cups is very much like, I'm going to leave behind all of the emotional things that I've been attached to, all the things that I've been emotionally attached to. Let's put it that way instead. And reminding yourself that even if you're walking away from things that you're emotionally attached to, that doesn't mean it's forever. Everything is temporary in this life. And sometimes we can just come back around. We can circle back around and come back to it. I've done that before. And I've found, like, 9 times out of 10, the things that I walk away from, I don't need to circle back around, but there are some things that I can, like we all have these, these sleeves are huge. We all have these, ways of, creating our, let me get adjusted here before I keep going. We all have these ways of creating these paths and stuff for ourselves. And once we have the clarity after walking away, things just fall into place so much easier. So let's see. Ooh, love that. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords on the 9 of Cups. I love this. I love this because with Judgment sitting here, the universe is supporting your hopes and dreams. And it really feels like with the Ace of Swords here that there has to be some kind of conversation that needs to be had, or there's like this aha moment, like, oh my gosh, like things can't keep going the way that they were going. I want to set myself up for success this year. That's the difference. And that's how we want to do it every year. But sometimes we really fight ourselves through it. Don't argue with the earth sign. I know sometimes it might be difficult to not argue with the earth sign, especially if you live with them. But this is really petty. The 5 of Wands is a very petty argument. So you guys are either arguing about the smallest things that you could possibly be arguing about, or it's really time, like it's like you guys have nothing else to talk about except the stuff that you're arguing about. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just time there's something that needs to end here. And I feel like it's the arguing. I don't know if it's the relationship that you need to end. This could be a person at work as well. Like if you're trying to set yourself up for success and people at work, a boss or whoever, is just arguing with you all the time. This Queen of Pentacles is somebody who can shut down very easily and just like be like, nope. It could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It could be anybody, really. It doesn't even have to be an earth sign, but it's somebody who was probably once very nurturing for you and isn't so much anymore. The 10 of Swords with the 8 of Cups. So the 10 of Swords card, I often see it as a projection. Yes. Is it the concluding of something? Is it the ending of something? Yes, absolutely. But it can also very much be a projection of how things are going to work out when they end. And so in your mind, if you're sitting there thinking like, if I walk away and this is going to be the most painful ending ever, then that's the way it's going to happen, right? Like this is not going to be easy for you, but reminding yourself that on the other side of it is it can be, the energy can be so much bigger. And the energy can be so much more for you to work with, you see? So I feel like there's this conversation that you're going to have with an earth sign in January. And maybe you already had it in December as you're coming into January and the arguing is still sort of happening. But it does feel like there's this argument that you're having with an earth sign, and it's time for you guys to decide whether you want to stay in it or walk away from it for good. The Emperor in February, the Emperor a lot of times can think that he knows better. He wants to be in charge. Of course, he's the leader, that sort of thing. But you don't have to be aggressive about things. I feel like if you're a Sagittarius that doesn't feel like you've been in charge for a while, this might be one of those things where you're trying to gain back you're trying to create balance by gaining back more power for yourself. I really have to sneeze. Hold on one second. Okay, here we are. We're back again. Okay, so the Page of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and then here you are, the King of Wands. Okay. And here's the thing, you guys. I feel like the Page of Cups and the Knight of Swords, you know, I don't often like to read other people's energies when I'm doing a reading for a particular sign because, you know, I mean, a lot of times this is about us. This is about us. Each reading we do, this is like an outline. Like this 6-month prediction thing is like an outline for us to see how things could possibly go if we went this direction, or if we went this direction, or how things were going to happen. Doesn't actually mean that everything's going to happen exactly the way that I'm saying it. I want you to remember that. But I feel like there is somebody in your life that very much wants to connect with you and doesn't know how. And I think it might be that earth sign. And there's this desire and this feeling, like the Page of Cups is like I need, like, please give me attention, please give me something so that I have something to hold on to. The Knight of Swords is the argument again. This is that rushing forward and saying things that we probably don't actually mean in that moment kind of thing. So in February, you might be getting fed up with this whole situation. Like, I'm not sure exactly what it is that you're going through. But I feel like there's this, if you have to show up in the Emperor's energy, if you have to show up as kind of somebody like, I'm not going to take this crap anymore. I know that I'm better than this. I know that I have more power than what I've been, you know, than what somebody else has told me in the past. But this definitely feels like, oh yeah, this definitely feels like somebody is really, really fed up. And I feel like that's you. I feel like you're the one that's fed up. Oh, wow. Okay. And it looks like it's more than one earth sign. There's one earth sign that is just wants your attention and wants your attention and wants your attention, and might even be a little bit draining for you, if I can say that. It feels like that this person just, that, because the Page of Cups just kind of sucks the life out of you sometimes. It's like every single time we like really want, like we desire and want and need something, we're putting our energy into that lack mentality because we're basically telling ourselves that we don't have that. So there's somebody who really is kind of attached to you in a super emotional way. And then there's another earth sign, like, man, you guys, you really need to get rid of some people, I think. There's another earth sign that is aggressive towards you and just like coming at you, like very forcefully coming at you. And then on the King of Wands, we have Temperance and the Death card, clarifying the King of Wands. You guys, first of all, Temperance is your card. So that coming up on the King of Wands is kind of on brand, first of all. But that Death card there is showing how much you're going through this evolutionary stage. I like to remind everybody that when we get the Death card, it's not about actual death. I think that sometimes when we think about death and we think about transition, it can be a little bit scary, but the reminder of death and the reminder of transition that's not the end. Like, everybody thinks that death, just because the body is gone, that there's nothing left after that, right? There's no afterlife or whatever. And I don't know what that all looks like. I really don't know what that looks like, but I do know that I have a really old soul. So I know that I've been doing this for a long time. Not just for the 43 years that I've been in this human condition, this human suit. It's been a very long time. And I think that, you know, every Sagittarius has their belief on how that looks for them. But we change every single day. We go through a death and transformation cycle every single day. So reminding ourselves of that and really asking yourself, like, when you get to this point, when you get to the point where you have to stand up for yourself so hard that it sometimes feels like a death, you know that you can no longer hold on to the people that are draining your energy. And maybe they're not earth signs. Maybe they're just people that are like really solid in your life and they've been there for a while. And even those people, sometimes you have to look at them and be like, listen, I am not your savior. Like, you can peel yourself off of me at any moment in time, honestly. Because if a Sagittarius doesn't have freedom to be who they are, if a Sagittarius is being like smothered by other people in a lot of ways, that won't work. It's not something that'll work. Okay, so then we have the moon. We have the moon in March, and a lot of times with the moon, what we're looking at is intuition and the things that we can't readily see in the light of day. And so your intuition is very, very strong in March. I feel like there's a lot going on with you, with your intuition, and I really think that you're ready for a fresh new beginning. And I think that fresh new beginning is just around the corner, obviously. So we have, with the moon, we have the 9 of Pentacles, doing things on your own. The 9 of Pentacles is about being independent and abundant, all on your own, surrendering to success. Love that together. 4 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. Now, the 4 of Pentacles is very much a Taurus energy. And, this can often reveal that you're still in a lack mentality. If we think about the 4 of Pentacles and then we jump to the 5 of Pentacles, which isn't out here, but you think about what the 5 of Pentacles represents. If we're holding on so tightly to these 4 Pentacles, that 5 of Pentacles is going to be very clear. It's going to be clear as day. And the 5 of Pentacles is that lack mentality. It's like not having enough material stuff, not having enough money. So the more we hold on to what's happening right now, we're literally telling our brain, we're telling our energy, we're telling everything that we're trying to accomplish that this is all I deserve. You don't. You deserve way more than that. And then the 7 of Wands is about the boundaries. And I think that it's been pretty clear in January and February where boundaries need to be placed so that you can have freedom. We don't make boundaries to keep people out. Now, do boundaries keep some people out? Absolutely, because there are some people that aren't going to honor our boundaries and we have to keep them out. It's not like something that we want to we don't want people to keep siphoning off of us. And those people, if we have boundaries with those people and they don't respect them, obviously they're not going to be around us anymore. But having boundaries allows you to be able to have people in your life without conflict because you're being upfront, you're being honest. You're like, this is what I require. I mean, honestly, this is what I require in my energy in order to have friends or lovers or whatever, right? Oh, I love this. Okay, so there's definitely a shift that's coming. And I think that shift happens when you realize that it's time for you to let go of what you are trying to save. Whether you're trying to save money, whether you're trying to save your job, whether you're trying to save a relationship, recognizing that you can create more. And sometimes we can create more on our own. Sometimes if we have to stand up for ourselves and be with ourselves, we can create more on our own. So this Wheel of Fortune is very Jupiterian. And I love that the Wheel of Fortune is here. It reminds us that divine timing is always at play. But every time we create a shift in our life, something better can definitely come along, something more aligned with who we are. The Ace of Pentacles on the 4 of Pentacles. Now, Aces are gifts from the universe. And aces are given to us. Those gifts are given to us when we're ready for the gift. Like, we're not going to get a gift from somebody, a birthday gift from somebody when it's like 6 months before a birthday. Maybe sometimes people do that, but it's a very rare thing. If you are holding on so tightly to what you have in the present moment and you're not allowing the space to receive, this gift is going to get lost. Do you honestly think he's going to be able to hold this 5th pentacle here? Well, actually, this pentacle probably is like 10 altogether, but because it's so big. But do you honestly think if he doesn't let go, I mean, he's not going to be able to carry all of that. He's not going to be able to like save everything, right? Like he looks very much like he just wants to save everything. Queen of Cups and the 7 of Wands. So there's this boundary that you have to have. And now we're looking at a water sign. It could very much be a Cancer energy, or it could be somebody, it could be a different kind of energy, but Scorpio, Pisces, any of that. But there's this boundary that you have to have. And when you allow those boundaries to happen, the gifts start showing up in really, really big ways. Okay. All right. So April, we have the Fool. I love it. I love the Fool. I love the Fool. My partner actually has the Fool tattooed on his arm up here. A lot of people are like, why would you tattoo a tarot card on you? Well, he wants to, he always wants to have that faith and take that leap of faith. And he wanted to be able to feel that constantly. So he got the tattoo tattooed on him. So the Fool is about taking that leap of faith for yourself. And even if you don't know what's happening next, everything is unknown anyways. And reminding yourself that everything is unknown anyways is going to help you to take that leap of faith. Oh, no, those are just 3. Okay. So there is the 8 of Cups. We have the Lovers. And we have the 7 of Pentacles. My hair is bothering me here. I wore my favorite sweatshirt for you, just for you guys. The 8 of Cups, the Lovers, and the 7 of Pentacles. Now, we've talked about the 8 of Cups before and having to walk away from things that we're emotionally attached to. So you're being called to do that again. The Lovers, I don't necessarily read the Lovers like a lot of readers do. I know that it can absolutely mean that you're in a relationship with somebody and that it's a very strong connection. But in order to find that really strong connection, you got to have that strong connection with yourself first. So the Fool very much feels like that you're ready to start planting some new seeds for the future. And I think that you're ready to do it with the most aligned timeline that you can be on. I feel like the Lovers here is about the masculine and feminine energies coming together within us. Now, when I say masculine and feminine energies, I do not mean male and female. This is not about a gender, okay? Masculine and feminine energies reside in all of us, and we are to use both of them in order to get through our existence, right? When those energies are aligned within us, we can make choices for ourselves that are a lot better, that are aligned for our best and highest good. We can walk a better journey and a better path. We're kinder to ourselves. We're using our logic, which is the masculine, and we're using our intuition, which is the feminine. So as you're walking away from situations that you're no longer aligned with, you're starting to become aligned within yourself. And the more you're aligned within yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to plant seeds for the future, for you to grow. So let's clarify what this 8 of Cups is. And it's all about having faith in yourself. I was talking with a friend of mine this morning briefly through messages, and we were talking about, you know, when is it a good time for us to show up for ourselves, basically. Like, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what the conversation was, but in a roundabout way, it's basically, when is it the right time for us to show up for ourselves? When is it the right time for us to take that chance? When is it for us that the right time to take that leap of faith, right? And there isn't ever going to be a right time. There's never going to be a perfect time for you to show up for yourself. There's never going to be a perfect time for you to take a leap of faith. So you just got to do it. And you got to do it with discernment. And you have to do it with knowing that you may fall on your face. But if you do fall on your face, that's also a lesson. And that's also teaching you what it is that you don't want to do the next time, right? But the more you show up for yourself, the easier it is to keep going over and over and over and over again. I mean, that's one of the reasons, that's what the resilience factor is, right? And that resilience word, I've talked with a couple signs about this, but that resilience word has become kind of a bad word in society. And resilience has, you know, it's like almost as if, you know, people don't want to have to go through the hardships anymore. They don't want to have to be resilient. I understand. I totally understand. But at the same time, there's like, if, you know, when you realize just how strong of a person you are and the things that you can go through, you can do anything. You can literally do anything. Nothing can touch you. So, being the Fool, we have the Justice card on the 8 of Cups. So if we're talking about relationships, which we might, for some of you, it looks like there might be a legal thing that's happening. With Justice there, you see there's the Wheel of Fortune above her head. As you walk away and you begin to choose your path and your journey, and you no longer are choosing somebody else's journey to continue to, I don't know, give back to, be siphoned off of, I guess, from their journey, you begin to realize that there's more of a balance there. So for some of you, you might be in a legal battle because of a relationship. The 5 of Cups on the Lovers, like I said, for some of you, this could definitely be about a relationship and something that you've been very connected to for a long time, but it's no longer serving you. And it's okay to grieve. It's okay to grieve. But also, if we really want to get into this, so the Justice card is about balance. The Lovers card is about balance. The Temperance card, which is your card, it's not here, but it's your card. It's about balance. So the more you're walking away and creating balance in your life, the more you're walking away from things that are not aligned for you, you're walking into things that are more aligned, but you have to be able to grieve the stuff that you've let go of. I have to sneeze again. Hold on. I just didn't want you guys to have to hear it, but I think it went away. I think if I talk about it, it just goes away. Who knows? So, there is this grieving process and a grieving period that everybody should honor. You know, it's so uncomfortable to have to go through the grieving process, and it's not fun. It's not the fun part. But if we don't acknowledge it, we hold on to it. And if we're holding on to it, that can become more destructive for us if we're holding on to the grief instead of releasing it and letting it go. The Strength card on the 7 of Pentacles. This is what I was talking about with resilience. If you look at the Strength card, it's an angel that's taming a lion, basically. And the lion, like, I don't know if you know much about lions, but their skin is really, really tough. Like, it's very hard to penetrate a lion's skin. And you know, that's sort of like something that we talk about when we're building resilience in our life. We kind of get this thick, like this thick skin. Like I've told people my whole life, I'm like, I have really thick skin because it's been built and built and built and built. But what that really means is that my nervous system was like way out of whack because of this thick skin that I had. And it was a barrier. It was armor. I wasn't letting anybody in because of this thick skin that I had. And that thick skin was made out of resentment and bitterness and pain and exhaustion. And, you know, just like always having to like keep going, even in the face of adversity, constantly. And a lot of that didn't allow me to grieve the processes that I needed to grieve. So this very much like you stepping into your power and you stepping into the role that you were basically built for is helping you to not necessarily have a thick skin, but to be able to tame it. Do you see what I'm saying? That angel and lion isn't necessarily about resilience, isn't necessarily about having a thick skin. Resilience is about being able to look at a situation and say, that's not for me anymore. That's resilience. That's what I've learned resilience is. It's not necessarily that like, oh my gosh, I guess I just have to be strong for this, or I have to be strong for this, or I have to be strong for this. No, you can actually soften up into it. You can tame the lion inside. You can tame, like we create out of chaos sometimes, but once we get to that point to where we don't have to create out of chaos and we can create out of the silence and the quiet parts of things, it becomes so much easier, so much easier. So in May, we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, again, remember, aces are gifts from the universe, and sometimes we're not ready for those gifts to show up. The Ace of Swords is a gift of knowledge. Sometimes it's an aha moment that you have. Sometimes it comes from a conversation with somebody else, and you receive some kind of information within this conversation. Sometimes it's just like letting you know the next part. Sometimes it's a whole bunch of information that can be really confusing, but this I feel like is a creation. This is like a conversation or like the aha moment that you're like, okay, now it's really time for me to show up for myself. The Empress, the Ace of Cups, love that. And then we have the Seven of Cups, which is the confusion, which is fine. Sometimes we have to be in that confusion. The Empress is about creation. She's the very beginning of things. She's the mother. She's Mother Earth. If you look at her, she's ruled by Venus, very much ruled by Venus. Sometimes it's the Taurus energy too. So it could be that you're having a conversation with a Taurus, but I feel like this is creation energy that you have inside you at its finest. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is awesome because the Ace of Cups is just right underneath the Ace of Swords here on my table, if you can see that. The Ace of Cups is about self-care. Again, yes. Can it be about the relationship? Can it be about a resurrection of a relationship? Sure. For some of you, that might be a thing. It might be that you're really feeling in your power and you want to resurrect the relationship, or you want to have, you want to, how do I want to put this? You want to rebuild. That's what I wanted to say. But for most of you, this is going to be about self-care. The Ace of Cups is a reminder that the universe is supporting us. And the more we pour into our own cup, the easier it would be to be able to give to other people. So if we're not pouring into our own cup, if we're not seeing that for ourselves, then it's going to be very difficult to be able to give it to other people. We have the Seven of Cups as well. The Seven of Cups is kind of a confusion. I feel like there are a lot of opportunities coming your way for creation. And I think that part of this is you recognizing how worthy you are in order to do it, in order to create. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Whoops. All right. Don't get messy with me. We're almost done. Don't get messy with me. Okay. So the Page of Swords with the Empress. The Page of Swords. Remember to watch how you say things. It could be that somebody else is not really saying anything very nicely. You may even need to have a conversation with your mom, because the Empress can be the mother figure as well. But really watch your words. The Page of Swords can kind of be sharp because he's a little childish about stuff and he gets very sharp about things. So be careful. The Ace of Swords can often bring that in as well. The Five of Pentacles. Remember when we talked about the Five of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles? Well, here it is. The 5 of Pentacles on the Ace of Cups. Now, the reason why you need that Ace of Cups is because there will be a point where you begin to have this lack mentality again in May. And it might be that aha moment that's happening with that lack mentality. So if we are filling up our own cup, we're not going to feel, this is not going to be something that will come into because this is not what we're aligned to. We are aligned to surrendering to success, and we can't surrender to success if we're sitting in a lack mentality. Okay. And then we have the Page of Cups with the Ace of Swords again on the 7 of Cups. Okay. Now, it's that you want to have a lot more opportunities and you don't necessarily have a lot of opportunities right now, but you want to have a lot of opportunities. Because that Page of Cups is the begging again. And that is again back into a lack mentality. I want, I need, I desire, I have to have this. So there's this patience that's required for you. I do feel like there's a lot coming up for you, but you have to pick what's going to be best aligned to your energy for your best and highest good. This isn't about just choosing. I mean, like a Sagittarius can choose to do something and probably make a success out of it. But do you want to do it the hard way? Like, do you want to like make a success out of something that's going to make other people successful? Or do you want to make a success out of something that is going to create more open pathways for yourself? Do you see what I'm saying? So let's get to June, where we have the Hermit. The Hermit's journey is one, it's done by itself. The Hermit does not necessarily journey with other people. If he's like a sage, if you will. He goes up to the top of the mountain with his very small lantern and he gets his information directly from source. And he doesn't let the distractions get in his way when he is in that journey. A lot of times you might be dealing with a Virgo energy as well, but if you're sitting in that Hermit's journey, it's very easy to overthink things, because when we're with ourselves, when we're just spending time with ourselves, because I feel like you've sort of pulled back from some stuff in June, and I feel like you're sort of spending some time with yourself a little bit. 8 of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the 9 of Cups. Hold on one second. I'm just going to keep it recording. I just want to put this down a little bit. Okay, that's better. Here we go. I know it's like the very end of the reading, but it was kind of driving me crazy. Okay, so the 8 of Swords is a self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. And if we sit here in our self-imposed imprisonment of the mind all the time and thinking that we're not going to get out of it, this is where suffering takes place. Do you know that suffering is actually a product of your mind? It's not what's actually happening to you. It's a product of your mind. And you can choose not to suffer in things by looking at it from a different perspective. The Hanged Man is a really uncomfortable position to be in, but we do it to see things from a different perspective. We do it to become enlightened. And it's just the opposite energy. They go together. They do it the same. The Hermit and the Hanged Man do things very much the same, where they sort of shut themselves down to get closer to God, if you will. And then we have the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups can sometimes be very overindulging, and a Sagittarius energy can be very overindulging as well. So we want to make sure that with this 9 of Cups that we are focusing on the things that we're going to manifest that are for our best and highest good. Not necessarily the thing that we want to be in alignment with ourselves, not necessarily what we think is going to be better or look better or anything like that. But there's a, this feels like a need, like you really need something. And the thing that you need is yourself. You need to be able to create without driving yourself crazy. You need to be able to create slowly without driving yourself crazy. So we have the Magician on the 8 of Swords. Wow. The beginning of this reading, I said that Sagittarians are magicians. Here we are. So you can drive yourself crazy about what you want to manifest into your life all you want, or you can come into alignment with what you want to manifest, which is actually happening over here with the Lover's card on the 9 of Cups. I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I wanted to show you that, sure, you can suffer through your manifestations if you want to, but sometimes we don't make the right choices when we're in that 8 of Swords state of mind. Or you can come into that alignment of who you are and receive the manifestations as you become aligned more with yourself. And in the middle, we have the Knight of Cups on the Hanged Man. This is the perspective that needs to change outside of the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is a self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. And the reason why you're in that phase right now is because of how long it's taking. But it's about divine timing. Like there's nothing, we can't force anything to happen. Forcing things to happen will blow up in your face so fast. And that's like the opposite of what we want to do. You see. So really taking your time. The Knight of Pentacles is a great reminder, which is also Virgo energy. It's a great reminder to take each step forward and not skip them. Like you don't want to do the hopscotch and skipping and all of that stuff. That's not going to bring you to the winning phase. What's going to bring you to the winning phase is being aligned with the path that you're creating, not that you're being aligned to the path of somebody else's creation. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for your support. Again, if you would like to have a 6-month reading of your own, I still have some available. And I have other readings available for January as well. So if you want to get in on my calendar, I am offering my 30-minute tarot readings for $60. That's only in January. So you can get a recorded tarot reading, or you could get a live tarot reading with me for only $60. That's going to end when my calendar is full in January. And what else? Oh, I have like solar return readings I'm doing full astrology readings, like I'm doing synastry, like relationship readings as well. So if you are interested in any of that, just go check out my website. All of that information is in the description box. I love you guys. Have a really great 2023. Bye.